It's a bit of a busy night in the weather world. We have a storm system in the middle that is producing some snow and some heavy snow, perhaps, for parts of the northern plains and the northwestern Great Lakes. We're waiting for a cold front to bring showers through here, and that's going to usher in some rather cold and windy conditions for Thanksgiving and the days that follow. And we've got a working tornado watch tonight in eastern Texas and northwest Louisiana. We will, of course, break this all down for you as we always do right here on tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. And if you shop on Amazon, if you're doing your holiday shopping on Amazon, start with our referral link that's on the descriptor to this podcast, because you do your shopping, you buy whatever it is you're going to buy. Amazon's going to throw us a little bit of coin for sending you there, and it's not out of your pocket, it's out of theirs. And it's a great way to help out the show, because if you do that, we can keep the live podcast commercial free, which I have done so now for quite a while. So thank you for those of you who have used our referral link on Amazon. And Tempest by Weatherflow. Get the revolutionary Tempest weather system. You get to join the fastest growing observing weather network on the planet, and it makes a wonderful gift for the weather geek in your life. It's easy to install, runs off your mobile device, and they have displays. If you want to put up a display in your office or in your living room or in your kitchen, wherever, you can get one of those too. There is a special Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast coupon code, Joe Rayo.
And I'm well aware of it. In fact, Rich Rothmansky 1388. I didn't know he had a number. Well,
anyway, YouTube's putting numbers and names. It's going back and forth with them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyway, Rich is right. The coupon code for Tempest is Autumn 2025. And if you use that in conjunction with anything you'd like to purchase at Tempest, you will get a wonderful 10% discount. So that's really sounds great.
We are so happy that you are back tonight. Everybody on the chat board last night was concerned. I had to quash a few conspiracy theories, Joe Rayo, but you're here.
Well, basically what happened was that my computer was acting kind of funky last week. Sometimes I'd have to restart the machine or reboot it. It would freeze and whatever. Anyway, I said, all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it to Best Buy. My wife and I, we have a special deal with Best Buy. It renews annually in November, where you pay out a certain amount. And then if something breaks that you purchase from them, or something you're having a problem with it, bring it to Best Buy. Best Buy has the Geek Squad. So I figured, well, who would know better to fix my computer than the Geek Squad? Brought it in on Friday, waited until yesterday afternoon, hadn't heard from them. That wasn't a good piece of news. Went down to see what was going on. They said, oh, no problem. And they brought my tower out, my computer tower out, plugged it in, pushed the button. The light went on for about 1.5 seconds, and then nothing happened. And after trying it innumerable times, they figured out that, well, the motherboard or something inside the computer, the electrical components just shorted out. And so that was it. The computer was going bye-bye. And so I had to purchase a new computer. And of course, last night, when it was time to do Joe and Joe, I was working off a laptop and was going crazy because I was saying to myself, what the heck am I going to do? How am I going to do? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, to make a long story short, or a short story long, today got the new computer in, and I've been spending part of my afternoon, putting stuff on, getting everything arranged properly, my camera, my Zoom, the whole bit. And even as I speak to you now, Joe, because I have Carbonite, which stores and saves, files on my old computer. I had it transferred
to, by the way, should not be confused with Calgonite.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, Calgonite! I'm the spot maker.
So far, 6%. Carbonite has done 6% of the relocating of files or whatever, 6.2 gigabytes out of 111 gigabytes. And according to Carbonite, in their estimation, all the files will have been recovered in 42 hours. So that's where I stand right now. And probably it's going to be even, I probably won't get all of my files back until Thanksgiving Day or maybe even Black Friday. But I'm on the road back to recovery. And at least tonight, I had the ability of being able to use my camera and Zoom and talk to you and talk to everybody out there. And that's why was not on last night.
Well, good. Well, I mean, I had that computer problem for the last couple of weeks where the show kept dropping out, and it wound up that it was a bad driver. They had they had sent an updated driver about a month ago, and I installed it, and there was a problem. Uh, it started then, and then the other day, um, about a month later, because I have this thing where if something on your computer is not functioning and you've been working on it for the longest time, you just sit back and wait until it fixes itself. And sure enough, they sent another update of that driver. So Realtek must have gotten a lot of complaints from people with having internet problems. And once I installed the driver, everything was fine. So it's all fixable. You are back. You got a new computer, which is wonderful. Tom Contino will probably be disappointed that you didn't take the opportunity to buy a Mac, but that's neither here nor there. Uh,
I use a Mac, or my wife's PC, not PC, my wife's laptop is a Mac Air Pro or an Air Mac
okay.
Pro. So, we have a Mac, but you only use it, for like emergencies or just to check on things upstairs. But this is the
The
main,
hub. That's your hub.
yes,
That is the Joe Rayo hub. It is the
yes,
Grand Central Station of Joe Rayo's existence. And that's what you have. All right.
exactly,
Let's remind
precisely.
Let us remind everybody that this is a holiday week. We have Thanksgiving coming up. And since the weather's not exactly going to be rip roaring across the Northeast and mid Atlantic states. We're going to take a little bit of extended time to enjoy the holidays. And this gives you some time to take a break from the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. So after tomorrow, we'll be here tomorrow, but then Wednesday through Saturday, we are going to be off, and then back on Sunday at the usual time, 7:35 p.m. So just make sure you mark it down. I've said it 4 times now, so I don't want to get messages tomorrow asking me or Wednesday asking me if there's a show. Because if you send me that message, I am going to ignore it.
And
Okay.
and in block letters, Reuben Fairchild. Oh, come on. Do a Black Friday show. I can't take it.
No, I'm not.
Oh, man.
You know what? I have some things to do. And in fact, today I've already prepped my cornbread sausage pecan stuffing. So that's all done. And I had to run out and buy onions because you go to the store specifically to buy an item and you come back with 9 or 10 other things that you didn't necessarily intend to buy, and you don't get the item that you went there for in the first place. That's just, that's typical me. But anyway, that's already done. Turkey's going to get prepped on Wednesday so that all I have to do Thursday morning is wake up, turn the oven on, well, I'm doing the red wine brine. I'm going to cheat a little bit because the turkey I got's already brined, and I've had brine turkeys that I've rebrined because my brine is better. But I don't want to. I don't want to have to put the turkey outside in a bucket and then keep putting ice in there, which is what I've done in past years when the weather's not cold enough. So I will. I'm going to get that wine. I'm going to get red wine into that turkey, whether it likes it or not. So, welcome tonight to everybody on the chat board and to those of you watching in the background on tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. We're here Sunday through Thursday normally, but you probably just heard schedule changes. We're off after tomorrow, and then we'll be back next Sunday. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn your notifications on so you don't miss us. In case it's a regular week and we decide to add shows, you'll find out about it. And if you like tonight's show, hit the like button. So shall we get started, Mr. Rayo? I think we should.
I think we should too. Surely.
And our attention is going to focus on the next storm system in cold front, which is actually, this is the probably the first time that we've seen more in the way of widespread winter weather advisories and winter storm watches and winter storm warnings. They run across Montana, north central and northeastern Montana, much of North Dakota, a good chunk of the state of Minnesota, and in fact, a good portion of it is also under a winter storm warning, as are the counties in northwestern Wisconsin, and we have winter storm watches now for the rest of northern Wisconsin and the upper peninsula of Michigan. We also, by the way, have winter storm watches posted for southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania and north central New York. And this is because of what's going to happen after the weather system moves through, that there could be some significant lake effect snows in these areas come Wednesday night and Thursday as the storm system gets into eastern Canada and really revs up. Meanwhile, we have tornado watch up right now, and you see it here in the yellow.
New York, northwestern Pennsylvania.
Oh, you got my volume.
And this is because of what's going to happen after the weather system moves through, that there could be some significant lake effect snow.
Is that you, Joe?
Come Wednesday night.
Joe, you have to mute me.
Thursday, as the storm system gets into eastern Canada
Joe.
and really ramps up. Meanwhile, we have watch up.
You.
You see it here.
Mr. Rayo.
Oh,
We'll be playing the show on the air.
I don't understand what's going on, Joe.
I can tell you. First of all, you probably turned on. You got YouTube running on the side. You must have turned the mic on for YouTube. Because I'm getting beautiful. We're very forgiving tonight.
I just muted YouTube.
Yes.
I don't understand what happened, but it happened just out of nowhere.
Exactly. Okay, so we also have wind advisories and high wind warnings up for the areas from Nebraska to South Dakota and northwest Iowa and southern Minnesota. And as I said, we have this tornado watch that's up for southeast Texas into northwestern Louisiana. And it's all due to it's actually two lows. You got a northern stream system that's in southeast Montana. And then you got a southern stream system that's in Oklahoma. You can see the low center here. And the trailing cold front that runs down into Texas, and a pretty solid warm sector that is set up across southeast Texas. We've got temperatures reaching up into the late afternoon temperatures were in the 80s, and then you jump to the other side, and it's in the 50s. So you got a pretty sharp contrast with this warm front as it pushes northward. So we're seeing a breakout in precipitation. Meanwhile, here in the Northeast, we've got a nice high sitting off the Delmarva Peninsula, another high analyzed in upstate New York. We had a reasonably good day across much of the eastern part of the United States. And you saw your temperatures today, Joe, reach the upper 40s and low 50s, which people ought to remember that actually is still a little bit below average for this time of year. And here's a satellite loop. Got the rotation that's back in Kansas with an upper low moving east, and then you got the rotation up in Montana with that northern stream system. Eventually, these two are all going to merge up into one low over the Great Lakes, and that's going to be moving eastward. And we're going to get into some of that moisture, Joe, later tomorrow into the early morning hours of Wednesday.
Some wet weather, especially so into the first part of tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, I think we're just going to have, residual showers, mainly in the afternoon. And I see, Joe, that we'll look at it in a moment on SPC. They brought the general thunderstorm coverage line almost up, well, just about up to New York City, not into the lower Hudson Valley or coastal New England.
David Fuller, thanks for hitting the tip jar. And the answer to your question is I didn't put any mention of flurries in the forecast for Friday, but we'll get to that in a moment. Check out the radar tonight because it's actually pretty busy. We've got the showers and storms, and you see the yellow boxes as of 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and even a little green box showing up there indicative of a flash flood warning. So we've got some strong thunderstorms here in northeast Texas and moving into northwest Louisiana, and some heavy downpours extending into Arkansas and northern Mississippi. And there's also some showers that have pushed up into Kentucky. That area is going to gradually move along to the east. Meanwhile, we've got some showers of rain over the Great Lakes, and then we get into some of the colder air, and we have some mixed precipitation and snow breaking out across North Dakota and parts of Montana. And that is moving eastward as that colder air is going to start coming down and getting involved in all this. The Storm Prediction Center tonight, a slight risk from Texas to Mississippi. We get that watch box up, the red box for the tornado watch, which was actually issued. Let me see here. Okay, that box is valid until 07Z, so it's valid until 2 a.m. In southeast Texas. This was just issued about 16 minutes ago, so a little bit after 7:30. So that's in play. For tomorrow, for Tuesday, the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk in east central Mississippi, central Alabama. Marginal risk pushes up through Georgia and into western South Carolina and southeast Tennessee. There is an area of 2 to 5% tornado risk, which is a little on the highish side, particularly for Alabama and into Mississippi. So that's kind of interesting to see in the latter days of the month of November. And then on day 3, as Joe pointed out, the risk line for general thunderstorm activity pushes almost to about New York City and Long Island. There is a second front that comes through. The first low in front on Tuesday night, but then we have to wait for that second cold front to move through later in the day Wednesday, and that one may trigger off some showers as it goes by, and that will also be that's where the leading edge of the cold air is. So Wednesday's probably going to be on the mild side, and then the cold air comes in for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And I think it's going to be rather mild here on Wednesday, Joe. We were looking at the temperatures probably getting up to within a degree or two of 60, despite the clouds and despite the threat of any precipitation. Unfortunately, for those who will be, gathering to watch the New York Macy's parade on Thursday morning, it will be turning quite a bit chillier. And with the way the winds will be gusty, I don't think they'll be gusty enough to preclude the balloons from flying, but if you're going to see the parade, you better bundle up. Chill factors will probably be in the 30s, and if you're there early enough, might even be in the 20s.
Frank Scalera has the question of the day, Joe, debating on whether he should put his Christmas lights up on Wednesday or Friday. I would say Wednesday, because if you do it on Friday, it's not only going to be cold, but you're going to do it with a screaming wind. So I
That
would,
may be true, but you may want to wait. You may want to wait until the start of next week, Monday and Tuesday. I think temperatures, while maybe not as warm as 60, I think Monday into Tuesday temperatures could climb well into the 50s. So it may not be so bad if you wait until after Thanksgiving, early next week.
well, we're all about options here on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast, and we've just presented Frank with one. Half an inch of liquid between now and next Monday night, the total precip over the next 7 days. WPC is very bullish on precip, the liquid variety, from East Texas to about me here in North Georgia and into eastern Kentucky and eastern Tennessee. A rather large area of 1.5 inches, and we've got areas of 2.5 to 4 inches. A few 4-inch stripes being highlighted there in southeast Texas, as well as into central Mississippi. Across the Great Lakes, now there might be another weather system toward the end of the forecast period here, so but there's a sizable amount of precip being indicated, and this is going to be in the form of snow through North Dakota, in through Minnesota, and particularly what's being indicated over the north shores of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where you've got an area of 2 to 3 inches of liquid plus, which is pretty interesting. And the snowfall forecast which I do have here. So this is off the digital forecast from the Weather Service, and this is through 7 a.m. Thursday. And they're throwing up some big numbers here on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Joe, anywhere from a foot to maybe as much as 2 feet along the shoreline. A little less as you go inland and south, but there's a fairly large area of 6 inch plus snowfall stretching from the Dakotas through Minnesota and then extending through northern Wisconsin. And even areas to the south, down near Minneapolis, is forecast to get an inch or two, lesser amounts as you go further south, and trace amounts for Milwaukee, not get nothing in Chicago. And we'll see, from Thursday morning on, whether I'm going to give this, I'm so curious. I'm going to give this a quick refresh and see if we get some new numbers here because they usually, at this time, it's supposed to go to Thursday evening as far as the total snowfall. So let's take a look and see what we got. And yes, we do have it through Thursday evening. We also want to address the areas in north central New York through Thursday evening and in southwestern New York. And not overly bullish here yet through Thursday evening, but it's going to continue Thursday night and Friday. And we do have, basically 6 inch plus amounts for southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania and northeast Ohio. Let me take it a little further west here and see if they've changed any of these amounts here across the plains. No, it looks pretty much the same as from the older forecast. So basically, right around the lakeshore, the lakefront in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, we're going to get their first big lake effect snowfall. So checking things out going forward. And by the way, I know there's like some weather people, some weather geeks or snow freaks are panicking already because, apparently we haven't gotten a foot of snow yet. So they're all upset about that. My response to that is just grow up. But there's your low. Again, it's sort of a broadish system, but the lakes part of that low is going to wind up strengthening quite a bit as it moves eastward. We get these showers that come in during Tuesday afternoon and evening. The first batch is out by, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 a.m. And then you wait for that secondary cold front, and you can kind of see that arm there on the European, and the isobars have that sort of V shape come Wednesday morning in Ohio. That's going to be pushing through very quickly, and that's where we could get another shower or two coming through a Wednesday afternoon and evening. And then, Joe, the gradient gets pretty tight. The low spins away in southeastern Canada all day, all day Thursday. And I think the gradient actually is going to be tighter Thursday night into Friday. And you see all the lake effect that's forecast to go on off the shores of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie in upstate New York and Northwest PA and Northeast Ohio. So this could, there could be a fairly significant early season lake effect snow event for that area. But I'm thinking, it's probably going to be close to wind advisory criteria.
It might be. Yeah, especially as we get toward the end of the week and into the weekend. I said Friday could be blustery. When I say blustery, I talk about windy conditions, but with chilly or cold temperatures, and that could very well be the case for the end of the week. And so brisk or breezy on Thursday, blustery and windy on Friday, and then the wind machine will gradually die down as we move into the upcoming weekend, Saturday and on into Sunday.
And much of the eastern half of the U.S. is going to be on the cold side, and cold air is going to get down into the southeast and northern Florida. Another high coming in. We do have some snow on Friday with Pacific Energy coming in, breaking out across Montana and the Dakotas, and eventually actually sinking south into Colorado. I know Maggie P. wasn't around yesterday, and I don't think she's on the chat board today, but she was mentioning that they still haven't seen their first flakes in Denver, but you're probably going to see them with this weather system at the end of this week. But it should be dry at least through much of sun. Well, if you look at the European, there is another cold front that will approach on Sunday with showers, and that's followed by some colder air for Monday and Tuesday. It's got another big high coming down and cold air spreading out, Joe, across the east and the Great Lakes and down into the Tennessee and Ohio Valley. So you know, might have to cancel that warm up for early next week.
Well, we'll see.
No,
It's still a week. It's still a week away. Things can change.
well, that's true. Well, I'm not going to deny that. Still not seeing any big storms though for the east. There's something in the southern stream in the long range that brings out some snow up into Kansas and Nebraska and eventually into the lower Ohio Valley. That would be late on the first week of December, but again, a long ways away. But I still say, I still go back to what I've been saying, which is the fact that this whole autumn has been much different weather-wise than past autumns have been, and it has a colder scheme to it, and it seems to be carrying into the month of December. I did look at the weeklies of the Google. What is it? Deep Mind? Is that what it is? What it's called? I think that's what they said it's called. Um, if not, somebody correct me. But these are the weeklies uh, from today through next Monday. You can see temperatures on average maybe a shade above normal for New England, but mostly normal and below normal from the mid-Atlantic states westward into the lower Great Lakes and even the upper Great Lakes, and particularly up in the northern plains and points north and west from there. Warm in the west, warmish along the Gulf Coast. Again, that's an average for the week. And then when we go to the week of December 1st through the 8th, the normal line cuts off at central New Jersey. It's actually below normal in upstate New York and New England, and more significantly below normal around the lakes and in the plains. And then we go to the 9th, the second week, and again, cold air spreading across southern Canada and just across the top of the U.S. There's probably some kind of frontal boundary here running across the middle because you can see it's all above normal to the south. Then we'll move on to the 15th to the 22nd, and it's near normal to areas of below normal across the northern half. And then for the last through the 29th, which includes Christmas, pretty much the same story. And the last one here on the weeklies goes to January 5th. And again, pretty much the same story. If you're a snow lover, you kind of want to see this. You don't want to see below normal all the way down to Florida, okay? Because uh, that means you got deep troughs in the east that potentially lift out so that when precipitation comes, we kind of want to see this sort of innocuous near normal or a little bit below normal with respect to the temperature scheme, because I think that offers more opportunities if you get weather systems moving along west to east in the flow.
Agreed. Agreed. And we've had winters, and the winter of 72, 73 was like that. It was very cold, but we only had about 2 inches of snow at Central Park because a lot of the storms kept getting nudged or shoved to the south of our area. Places like North Carolina and Virginia, they got a ton of snow that winter season. Meanwhile, we were just right on the northern fringe of all of those systems and didn't see much of anything because again, it was just too darn cold. You got too much of a good thing.
And by the way, this model is actually showing some kind of tropical system forming next week in the Caribbean, which is interesting only because of the fact that the Google model here had, did a pretty good job during the tropical storm season, picking up on development and so on. So, uh, and I saw that the GFS actually had it on a couple of runs, and then they sort of loses it. Uh, the I don't know how to download this. I mean, I got a link to it, and you can kind of you could kind of work along with the link, and then you can once you get that, I'll put this up for folks. Hopefully, the link isn't too long that the whole link goes up there. Uh, so give it a try, folks, if you want to take a look at this on your own and play around with it. There's a lot of stuff here. I mean, there's really a lot of stuff. It's almost overwhelming how much. And by the way, you could look all over the world. I mean, I have it set to North America, but I mean, we could look at Europe, we could look at South America, Eurasia, Northern Africa, Southwest Europe, Northeast Europe. I mean, it's just amazing how much stuff is here. You could be on here for 40 hours, Joe, taking a look at all this stuff, which is gives you something to do while you wait for your computer to reload everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know you wanted to keep it a little short tonight, and I don't blame you because you probably been staring at the screen all day. So we'll hold Briller Jeopardy up till tomorrow, since tomorrow will be the last show of the week, and we'll take it from there. Does that work
All
for you?
right. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So see everybody tomorrow night, same time, 7:35 on the Joe and Joe Show.
All right, folks, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Good night.